What's going on? This is the House of Boom podcast, one of the most diverse podcasts you'll see. I'm your host, Eric Boom Salvery. Today, we're going to do a little shot talk about football, the 49ers. We're going to talk about hip-hop and some recent news with my good homie, my fellow photographer, freelance photographer friend, Tieem. True Lies. What the hell is a true lie?
True Lies. That's
Were you like watching like Arnold Schwarzenegger, that movie True Lies, Get the Chopper, all that?
I did like that movie when I was young.
Word.
But that's just my rap name. Like when I do music.
Okay.
Honestly, just from doing a lot of like studying and researching things, I find a lot of things that we've learned over time, like that we think is true or hold to be true, is just lies. That's all. It's that simple.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a dope. Is there any particular fact that stood out to you at any point in time where you was like, yo, I believe this all this time, and this is just like, this is not true. This is just not true.
I mean, I could use something simple like Christopher Columbus got here mistakenly. If he had a Hebrew interpreter with him, so that means that he knew people were here.
Okay.
So just something as simple as that, like he didn't stumble upon this.
Okay.
Like, he knew where he was going.
That's what it is. He had a Hebrew interpreter, which means he had to communicate with who?
People that were here. Like, so he knew. So somebody told him that who was here already.
Okay.
And what was here.
Okay.
So when he got here, he knew what type of person to come here to translate for him.
Dope. Let's talk a little shot talk. You know what I mean? Me and you, I think that's how we connected, because we knew some mutual people. But I think we just connected on the gram or somewhere. You know how social media is.
Couple spots, always see each other around.
Always see each other around. Then I see you shooting. And then one day we got together and we went out to City Island in Staten Island to this crazy ghost town. It was like crazy. Like you go in there, you got to go under a fence. There was some deers walking around. This joint was like the perfect situation for like a scary movie. Do not do, black people don't do this stuff, but we did it anyways. And we went out there, we made some dope photos. I still get compliments on them. When we went, they had this crazy bridge that we had. It's like a castle. It looks like a castle bridge or something like that where you go across. And we just got some dope shots. But what really got you started in photography?
Music. When you're doing music, you need content. You need people to be able to take pictures or do videos of you. That's expensive.
Right.
So, hey, why not buy my own camera and see if I can do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what made me get into it. And I guess I kind of just took a liking to it.
Mm-hmm.
From that aspect. But subconsciously, I didn't even realize when I was in high school and like middle school and stuff like that, I always had a video camera. Or I always had disposable cameras. Like I go on my senior trip, I'm selling cameras. I'm taking all the pictures. Like I have millions of pictures from my senior trip, and I never really connected the two that I take pictures all the time. Like I've been doing this forever.
So you were honing your skills like all this time.
But didn't realize it because it wasn't something that I cared for. It was like, I want to be a photographer. It was just like, all right, let's just get the moment.
Mm-hmm. I remember I used to have to get those disposable cameras, and you had to wait until Walgreens or something like that, and then you go there excited and then hope, and then you get there, sometimes your pictures be messed up. You be like, damn, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm glad the digital revolution came, because at least you could look at this stuff before you submit it. I mean, obviously you don't need that to print them out because everything's online now, but just that the fact that the SD card was invented, you could take it there, at least you could see what you're printing out before. Like it really was a gamble, like especially with the memories and stuff like that. But the other side of it is like it wasn't that bad, because usually you got the shot that you want and stuff like that.
What was ill about that is I worked at a grocery store at the time, and they had Stop and Shop in Berkeley Heights, and they had their camera. They developed film there too. Mm-hmm. So I would get my cameras from there. I develop them there. I didn't necessarily pay, which I probably thought I paid for it, but you know.
Don't use this as evidence, whoever.
That's years, 15 years, 20 years ago.
Word. What type of shots do you like to take? Because I know you like bounce around. Portrait. Candid. So you're more like the event photographer guy.
Event, but just more people. I like concert the most, actually.
Okay.
But just catching people in their natural element, really. It doesn't even have to be an event, just people being them.
Now, I got into photography, it was kind of a backwards way. I went to college, studied journalism. My professor hooked me up with a local publication to actually do a classwork assignment. They hired me. I wrote a couple articles, and then the third assignment that they had me do, they asked me to do an event, but they asked me actually to take a picture. I didn't have a camera. I was like, all right, cool. Luckily, I had my phone, so I got lucky because I had really good lighting, and then I submitted the photos. Then they were like, oh yeah, we got another event, and I was like, all right, cool. And then it was like travel abroad, and then I hooked up with a photographer while he was there because he was doing the pictures for the event, and I started to learn from there. So I've done all types of photography here and there, but the fun stuff is like you said with concerts and stuff like that. And I've seen you capture like Jadakiss. It was cool because it's like I remember when Jadakiss did his verses with Dipset, you had like not that particular from that particular event, but you had like relevant stuff to post and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, and I'm going here. I'm looking at you, Josh. I gotta get that. I'll go in my archives and start searching for what I got because I had some stuff from Summer Jam years ago. But recently, you had a really dope photo. I'm not gonna tell everybody about it, but you can tell them what it was that really it made it into an editorial publication too, right? Or they just reposted it.
It's two different ones.
Okay, so talk about that real quick.
So I took a picture of Polo G and I made it into an editorial publication. I just took a picture of George Clinton.
Oh.
And George Clinton reposted it, shared it everywhere.
Okay.
Tagged me with my credit and all that stuff like that.
He actually tagged your credit. They did that right. Oh, that's
I mean, shoot.
That's a big thing.
And like he seems cool. Like I DM'd him. Like I was trying to do the concert too. He was trying to help me get passes and all that stuff like that. So George Clinton seems cool.
Okay.
But and he's from Plainfield. I'm from Plainfield, so it was just fire.
Really? How many people? I mean, maybe I'm the slow one. How many people knew that he was from Plainfield?
Well, I mean, so he's in Newark and Plainfield.
Okay.
But he had I don't know how many people know, but he's from Plainfield, New Jersey. I'm from Plainfield, New Jersey. He had a barbershop there called the Silk Palace. So what the event was is they were naming the street that he had the barbershop on after him.
Word.
But I mean, a lot of people might know that he's from Plainfield, but it's just ill for me. I always have so much pride in that P-Funk and shit like that because I look at it like George Clinton's sound and Parliament sound is so crazy because there's no West Coast music West Coast music doesn't have an identity without it. So literally, this little town that I'm from in New Jersey is responsible for a whole coast of music's identity.
Break that down a little bit further if you can.
Well, you listen to Dr. Dre and all them, they're sampling Parliament. They're sampling James Brown. They're sampling George Clinton. They're sampling all that music.
Wow.
All that music that came out of Plainfield, New Jersey, they're sampling that. So when you hear and it's not, Gin and Juices is an example. It's not what they sampled on that.
Okay.
But like Snoop Dogg's first album, like you listen to the beginning of the album, the G-Funk intro and all that stuff like that, that's Parliament. Like you don't have those gangster that gangster sound without Parliament.
Do you think that New Jersey gets enough credit for the contributions that we get to the world? Because I listened to a podcast. Shout out to Scotty Offscript. He does it, but one day he's a HBCU. He covers like the SWAC, like all that stuff with Deion Sanders and all that.
Oh, that's dope.
But yeah, and but he does the whole conference and everything like that. And one day he was on one of his lives, and he was like, "Yo," he's like, somebody said something, and he was like, "Oh, from Jersey. Oh yeah, we don't respect Jersey. They're the armpit of America." And I'm like, y'all don't really understand what we have going on here. You know what I mean? Being from New Jersey, I'm born and raised. I might want to live somewhere else someday, but I'm always gonna rep Jersey to the day I die. So, do you think that we get enough respect in the?
Absolutely not. like just think about like something just as simple as sports.
Right.
We have like the best basketball players ever. Well, not ever, but you get my point. Like
right.
we produce some of the best talent in on the high school and collegiate level.
Okay.
We don't get the credit for it, but we do.
See, that's the thing that and I'm a caveat that term. You said athletes. That's the one thing about Jersey that you get. Like when you go to Pennsylvania and you go to certain other states, it's either you play football and maybe you might do like one other sport or something like that. You might get a football guy that runs track and everything. But most people are like, if you're playing football, you're playing football year round. Like that's it. You're training in that. You're doing everything to prepare yourself. So when you get up to state like Pennsylvania, Alabama, maybe Florida. That's all they do.
That's football states. That's year round.
You get a cat from Jersey. He might run track, play football, basketball, baseball. He playing like every sport that is possible. Probably because everybody parents so busy that they just keep their kids in sports. Like, all right, you here, you take them. But whatever. So you got like more well-rounded athletes that can play more positions, depending on what sport they play, than anything. Especially here, soccer is so huge. Like it's
because we got a huge Hispanic population.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about track. Sydney, what's her name? Sydney McLaughlin is that her name?
Okay.
Oh girl, she went to, if I'm not mistaken, same school Kyrie Irving went to. Am I Union Catholic? Or St. Patrick. She went to St. Pat's. Kyrie Irving, she's there. She's like the top track runner in America.
Yeah. I remember I was in high school, bro. Like when we talking about track, and maybe because they were physically so literally close to each other, it was like Plainfield and Piscataway. Just in my area, was like, yo, boom, boom. Like you had one. If you had somebody from Plainfield, you probably had somebody from Piscataway running like state championships. You know, all that going on in nationals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
most
so,
of the people from Piscataway from Plainfield.
Yeah. We know. We know. What's my man? He used to, because I was, I ain't gonna date myself too much, but Anthony Davis was the man.
AD.
I
mean, shoot.
Yeah.
He graduated a year after me.
Yeah.
07. I know him. He played. He played for the Niners.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah. He got drafted by the Niners.
No, not.
Oh, you're talking about the other AD.
The other AD, the running back.
The one that went to, was he at Nebraska?
Wisconsin.
Yeah. See, I'm tripping.
And he was a problem for a
was.
while. And that's when like, so the Big Ten used to be like the Big Ten, like really, really big. It was almost at one point bigger than the SEC. It's not as dominant. SEC grew into what they were after a while, but the Big Ten used to be the big dog on the block. And so when he was at Wisconsin, I think he either was before, he was after Ron Dane. So Ron Dane, who was from Jersey, he was from South Jersey, then AD. So Wisconsin was just pumping him out from Jersey for like a good, even the running back for the Colts, my man, he's from Jersey.
He from Plainfield.
He's originally from Plainfield?
Yeah, you talking about Taylor.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was from South Jersey.
That's my man cousin. He from Plainfield.
So he originally from Plainfield, but he played somewhere down south. Wow. See? You ain't even know that. I ain't even know it. Well, since we on football, do you play? Well, are you all three levels, or are you just NFL?
I'm more NFL.
Okay.
College is a lot to keep up with because there's so many teams.
Okay. So let's talk about your Niners. They beat my Cowboys in the playoffs. I did not appreciate that, but I did not appreciate the disrespect that Debo displays every time he runs the ball. I don't even know that first of all, my man ain't even human. Like let's talk about it. Because that brother, like, how you play running back, X, slot, like, what we talking about? Like, that's just a whole nother.
I mean, it's a reminder. I mean, I think the game evolves. So you look at him, like, that's like a Cordell Stewart, but I mean, he's not a quarterback.
Right.
But, you know,
he probably could play it at this point in the game.
He definitely threw a touchdown.
Right.
You know, this year, but, I mean, you just look at how some people you can't put them in boxes.
Right.
Like he can just do whatever.
Right. How you like how do you feel about their off season right now?
I'm fine with it.
Because free agency is crazy.
I'm fine with it. Like free agency is crazy. The NFL, the AFC looks crazy right now.
AFC is the SEC right now. Like
yeah, it's ridiculous. Right now. But I'm fine with it. People are like a lot of Niner fans complain a lot. Mm-hmm. But I'm fine with it. We were good last year. We prepared for what was to come. We knew we were going to lose some players. We'll be fine.
Do you think they gave up too much to get Trey Lance?
Not if they believe in him. I mean, clearly, like I like Jimmy G. He's serviceable, but clearly he has his limitations. And I mean, you gotta try something else at some point.
Are you comfortable right now with if they had to go into the off season? Would you rather see? No, we're in the off season. If they started the season today, are you comfortable with Jimmy G starting again, or would you rather see Trey Lance? Trey
Lance. There's no, and for the simple fact of like morale and not creating a schism in the locker room. You can't have Jimmy G there because the guys love him. You know, you can't have him there. Okay. That's going to be demoralizing for Trey Lance trying to win the locker room.
But Aaron Rodgers sat for 4 years before he even scratched the playing time.
Yeah, because Brett Favre was that guy.
Jimmy G getting y'all.
Like even when Brett Favre left, he went to the NFC Championship, and had he not thrown an interception, they would have went to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G has not single-handedly gotten us that far.
But he's getting, but he
still he makes it work. He makes it happen.
Okay.
But it's a little different. The trust level is different.
Okay.
You know, Kyle Shanahan doesn't trust Jimmy G. Holmgren trusted Brett Favre. And Holmgren might not have been there at the time, so I know LaFleur wasn't there. Who was the other guy? That's y'all coach.
I don't know his name. I don't care about him.
Well, the current Dallas Cowboys coach, McCarthy.
Whatever his
Mike
name
McCarthy, he trusted Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, there's a different trust level. So Jimmy G can't be in that same breath.
But McCarthy ran Brett Favre out of there. He won the Super Bowl with Holmgren. Then McCarthy, he couldn't work with McCarthy or something like that.
Well, he just got old, and you can't have Aaron Rodgers sitting for 4 years.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the best 4 years ever. He should have, I think a lot of rookies should sit.
What rookies right now, do you think, well, I don't think it's too late. Do you think, I feel like Justin Fields should have sat.
Yeah, he should have sat. Like, Pat Mahomes sat.
Right.
He probably didn't have to sit.
Right.
Like, just think about that. Pat Mahomes probably didn't have to sit.
Okay.
He sat. Who else I think people like, there's exceptions to the rule. Like Cam Newton, when he came in, he didn't have to sit.
Mm-hmm.
He had his lumps, but he didn't have to sit. Daniel Jones probably could have sat. He needed to sit.
Mm-hmm.
My man that's on the Jets right now, the young boy, is it Wilson? He needs to sit.
Yeah. Zach Wilson. Yeah.
He needs to sit.
Okay, so the 49ers trade, well, I don't know what they're going to do with Jimmy G. I don't even know if he's going to have a job. Because Baker Mayfield, like, he can't even find a job right now, and he's healthier than Jimmy G. Now, granted, Jimmy G has better credentials, I guess, in a sense, because he's taken them to the Super Bowl within, one quarter of winning it. He's taken them to the AFC Championship a couple times.
I don't think it's the credentials with Jimmy G and Baker. Baker is just a crybaby.
Yeah, he kind of.
And he clearly.
Do you think that him crying really made a difference at whether they was gonna get Deshaun or not?
No, he's just better. I'm sorry, I'm better. He's better. He's just better. Like Deshaun Watson is just better. You have to get better if you can. Mm-hmm. Like I understand why we didn't do it, but the 49ers made like some really key mistakes over the past decade.
Okay, like
we didn't get Peyton Manning.
Well, I didn't know they was in the running.
We were. He didn't. If the reason why we didn't get Peyton Manning is because we didn't want to allow him to control the offense by himself.
Oh, okay. Was Shanahan there?
This is whatchamacallit, Harbaugh.
Okay.
This is Harbaugh.
Okay.
And I understand why we didn't do it, but we didn't get Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I understand why we didn't do it.
Was that who Tom Brady was talking about
yes.
when he was on LeBron's podcast?
Yes. He is a 49ers fan. He grew up a 49ers fan. He wants to play for the 49ers. He still wants to play for the 49ers. He retired, from what I understand, he retired trying to get out that contract to play for the 49ers.
I will say that, well, no, because he already beat, I guess he already beat that thing. But I still think it's about Joe Montana somewhere in there. It's an ego thing. Like, I need to be better than Montana, and one of the places better.
Rings.
Well, I mean, but I feel like the ego is like, I want to be a 49er. I want to win as a 49er. Let me be better than Montana in the place that Montana built.
I'm with that too.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't have been a bad idea to grab him for that year. The problem was Jimmy G just went to a Super Bowl. So how do you get rid of your Super Bowl quarterback and not get Tom Brady? But
I think Tom Brady to the 49ers was a year early. If it had, because just look at all the moves that's happening in the NFL. You know, look at the Rams. Like, we don't care anymore. F them picks, right? So, and then everything. What's this whole offseason have been about? F them picks. Like, we're gonna send somebody 3 first rounders because.
You're right. I'm thinking. I'm just thinking. Go ahead.
Like, yeah, a year early. A year later, they might have been like, you know what? F them picks. Let's go get Tom.
But no, also, we tried to get Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. This offseason.
No.
What?
Now think about it. We tried to get him. Mm-hmm. That's how we got Jimmy G.
Oh. Yeah.
They wouldn't trade us Tom Brady.
Right.
The Patriots wouldn't trade us him.
Right.
That's how we got Jimmy G.
I think that, yeah. I wonder what that was all about. Wow, Belichick, but whatever. Maybe because he wanted Jimmy.
He wanted to keep Jimmy, but
the owner didn't.
The owner wanted to keep Tom. So the owner wouldn't trade us Tom. So we had to get rid of Jimmy G. So they had to get rid of Jimmy G.
Got you. I mean, I guess somebody.
And then he ended up trading him anyway.
I feel like.
Oh, I'm sorry, he left.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that because I guess if you're the owner of the franchise, you kind of have a guaranteed thing with Tom Brady. And if there's no plan, okay, Jimmy G was the plan in place, but if that was still iffy, right? And then you go there and you say, all right, well, I know I have a guaranteed thing. You're not going to tear the guaranteed. Well, dudes, we do this all the time.
I don't think it would have been iffy. I don't think Jimmy G would have been iffy if he stayed there. Because I think when he got to the 49ers, he was actually pretty good. His first season, because he wasn't under the tutelage of Kyle, and he was able to just play his game. Okay. I feel like to an extent, I think Kyle kind of messes him up a little bit because it's such an advanced system.
Is it advanced or is it just that it's well tooled, like it's rehearsed, like we know what works and we know what doesn't work. So do you consider that advanced? Or it's just like they just know what works because they've been running it for so long. Because everywhere it goes, it works. You know what I mean? I remember being in college and playing running back. I went to a junior college and I remember mid-season we switched from traditional blocking to zone blocking, and it's the concepts are much different for a running back. But they also open up because when you cut back,
because you're talking about looking at the Shanahan, like the Broncos back in the day.
Yeah.
That type of scheme.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
So it's just so well rehearsed that all you got to do is know it and run it and have a quarterback who can make the throws when you need to make the throws.
And I think he could make the throws if the system wasn't that. I just think it's a little more in it. I think he has some confidence issues. Jimmy G used to scramble. He used to run.
Did he?
Yeah, he remember he tore his ACL his second year with us running.
Yeah.
He used to rumble, so I think it's a little bit of confidence.
Got you. Shout out to Jimmy G. I saw him on a Subway commercial. I'm like, all right, get your money then. What do you think the 49ers should do with this next pick? Where would you like, the first three picks, well, they don't have a first round pick, but where would you like to see them address? What areas?
We need offensive linemen and we need cornerbacks.
Y'all got Trent Williams. Y'all need more?
Yeah, but we just lost Laken Tomlinson.
Okay.
And Mike McGlinchey had a torn muscle. His muscle tore off last year.
Okay.
So I would say offensive line and definitely corner.
Were you a corner?
We just got Ward from the Chiefs, but
I ain't seen them make too many moves.
Our corners was ass.
I don't think but y'all got good, but y'all had because y'all had what's his name? Fred Warner, Pop Warner, whatever his name was.
Fred Warner, yeah.
No disrespect.
Fred Warner.
I think Pop Warner, when I hear the last name, somebody's Warner. But y'all had Fred Warner up front. The defensive line, is sick, man. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, I can see them building through the draft. I feel like teams kind of do stuff on the cheap though. They try to find their way around it, and y'all got to pay. Y'all got a lot of salary cap moves to make and stuff this year. So
yeah, we got to pay Debo and Bosa.
Yeah. So when we talking, we're gonna switch lanes real quick. We're gonna talk about some of your music. Let's talk about it. I remember you started the podcast off. You said that that's what got you into photography. Let's talk about your music. Let's talk about it. Go ahead.
I'm just a huge rap fan, like a stan for it.
Okay.
I probably fell off a little bit because work. You get older.
Adulting.
Adulting. You can't keep up with everything.
Right.
But huge rap fan, and so me, I always rapped. I've been rapping since I was 15. I rapped before that, but that was the first time I recorded.
Okay.
My man's made me do it. He's like, nah, you got to rap.
Okay. Mushroom table, beatboxing.
No, in the studio. straight
Okay,
up.
okay.
Like his father had a studio because his father was a musician.
Word.
So
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, so we had a
Most
studio.
people don't get
in the house.
access to stuff like that at an early age.
And what my problem was, I didn't understand the value of it either, because I didn't realize how much money it cost to do all that stuff. So I mean, I did it faithfully, but I didn't realize until I had to spend my own money to do it. Like, damn, I had something really good.
Yeah.
But I've been rapping since I was 15. So for me, music, I mean, I don't even release a lot of music, like, at all, actually. I probably should. People always like, you should release this. I want my shit to sound a certain way, and it don't sound a certain way, I'm like, fuck this. Like, I'm waiting. I got songs that I've been sitting on for like 8 years, and they're still good.
Are they relevant still?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that got played was like from 8 years ago.
Word. The one that was on.
Yeah, or maybe 6 years, like 6 years ago.
Let's talk about that moment. I mean, you had, I don't know how many viewers Joe Budden's podcast has on it,
Yeah,
but they
couple
played your
million.
joint. Huh?
You get a couple million.
A couple billion?
Million.
Million? I was like, oh, we in the billion.
Not billion.
Yeah. We got a couple million, and a couple million people heard your song. Like, so how to talk about that? Talk about the song itself, and then, what's the feedback been?
I mean, the feedback's been positive. Like, everyone's been like, yo, like, you need to release more music. Like, what are you doing? Like, you need to take advantage of this.
So, what's funny story? We have a mutual friend. I'm not going to name her name, but she, we used to kick it or whatever, and then, fell off, but it wasn't nothing crazy or nothing like that. And she saw the photo shoot that we did, and she was like, oh my God, you guys work together. And she was like, yo, y'all both are like underrated, da-da-da-da. He was like, yo, I love his music, da-da-da, and I love the photography stuff you post. So I was like, yo, that's crazy. And at that time, I didn't know you did rap. And then I think after that, you might have posted something on Facebook or something like that. I don't know if it was a freestyle or if it was just something written, but I was like, oh, he really does this, like, because I don't think we talked about that part of you actually doing music. I think we just talked about the photography portion, and then you shooting, like, going to different concerts and stuff like that. So I actually didn't know that part until she said that. So it was interesting. I'll tell you after.
Yeah, for sure.
But what were you saying? I forgot where we was.
Well, we was on talking about the reaction, like, just what the reaction was, like, whether it be on Twitter or whether it be on like comment boards or like even like Facebook, like groups and stuff like that. Yo, this is dope. Like, yo, I like that. Like, you need to release more music and stuff like that. And I'm just like, damn. Like, I didn't release it. My man on Beers and Ballheads, Jason, my boy Jason, he always say, which he actually played with Anthony Davis, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, but he always like, yo, you gotta release your music. Da-da-da. He always on my ass about it. People released it for me because I didn't release that song. I never released that song. I didn't send that to them or nothing.
Wait, so how what's the process of how it got there?
So my Bandcamp is on my Twitter bio.
Oh, okay.
But I don't never release any music. I don't say anything. It's just music up there. So Ice from the podcast, and
Ice is from Joe Budden's podcast.
Yeah,
okay.
He's from Jersey. So and I've met him mad times. Cause I'm actually a Joe Budden fan. Like,
okay.
So I would go to like his concerts. I played kickball with them niggas. Strip club, like I've been mad mood music 4 sessions. Been mad places with them.
Can I share my favorite Joe Budden moment real quick?
Go ahead.
What was it? 2000 when the Nets was in the playoffs, when the Nets was in the championship.
02 and 03, I think.
That was the littest summer jersey I ever had.
Ooh, cause I mean that's when it had to be 03 because that's when Pump It Up and Focus and all that was
Pump
on.
It Up was on. Jersey was just the Nets was in the playoffs.
Fire with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, everything like that summer, like I remember going to the Meadowlands. I forgot what I was going there for, and I'm just like, yo, this summer is so freaking lit. Like, that's like that college summer, that college type summer where you like, yo, that was. Anytime I think about when the Nets was actually, I used to be a Nets fan until they moved, whatever. But yeah, that was like Joe Budden really just made that summer. That was him.
Shoot, even to this day, if I hear Fire come on anywhere, like I'm lit because I used to start off a song. Let me just make this statement.
Jerseys, yeah.
Like like I'm getting lit.
Right.
Off the rip because of that. But yeah, Ice is on their podcast, and Ice, like I said, I met him mad times, but we don't actually know each other. We just met in passing and shit. he for whatever reason, I don't know why he was on my page. I don't know if I responded to something. Like, I don't know why, but he was on my page, and he said he just clicked on the Bandcamp. That was the first song that he played. He listened to it. He liked it. That's simple.
Wow.
And then, but didn't tell me. Like no one told me.
No pre-rush.
Like, he didn't tell me
yo,
that
I'm
he
about
was
to play your joint tonight. Nothing.
Nah, I ain't say nothing. Somebody hit me while I was at work. Like, yo, I think I just heard your music on the Joe Budden podcast. Like,
Word.
what? How? I didn't send that to them.
Okay. And what did you get any correspondence obviously afterwards or anything like that? Or was it just like simply like I appreciate you, good vibes?
Yeah. I told him I appreciate it. I hit Ice in the DM and stuff like that. I appreciate it. And you know, just thank you. Like,
Right.
Thank you.
Hey, that's how I got. So when are we gonna hear some new music? Like what's going on? What we wait? 7 years? Like we gotta.
If I'm being 100% real with you guys,
Okay.
music costs money to make.
True.
So you trying to shoot videos, record, it costs money. You're adulting, you know, you gotta pick one, right?
Right.
But guess what? Photography don't cost that much money. Photography can make you money.
Well, hold on.
Can.
Photography does cost money because your cameras is expensive. Because I'm about to get this.
You can make it back.
You can make that back. Okay.
So there's a quicker return in your investment.
Fair point.
Okay. So I mean, it kind of becomes that to an extent. Like music is just expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
But so when am I going to release it? I guess I have no choice. But
you got to the street. I mean,
yeah. I have no choice. But
have your numbers gone up, like as far as social media or anything like that, or even the listens on?
Well, actually, it wasn't uploaded, so I actually had to upload that. It was like I said when I said that song wasn't out.
Wow.
Like, it wasn't uploaded. I had to put it on YouTube, but it's probably not a bunch of views because the views are probably on the show.
Okay.
Because they didn't even know where I was from, or where to find me really, other than my Twitter page.
That's wild though, because I saw the clip and he was like. So, and it was just like, yeah, so here's such and such, this is True Lies, and da-da-da-da. And then they played the song, and I'm just like, what?
I was like, what the fuck? I was geeked though, I was happy.
That's a hell of a moment.
Like, that was my favorite rapper for man long.
Right.
And I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Okay. So you write, or is everything written, or do you freestyle?
Written. I can't freestyle for shit.
Dang.
Like I'm very
I was about to say, yo, we got a treat for y'all. True Lies about to spit some junk before we get out of here. Nah.
I might be able to, but like I can't freestyle that well. I mean, you could do it, but it's like how those like how somebody like Snoop Dogg does it. Like Snoop Dogg is a really great freestyler, great storyteller.
Did we lose something? No, okay.
Yeah, he's a great freestyler, great storyteller. Like those types of dudes that can just freestyle, or like Black Thought. Black Thought, he's one of them crazy ass rappers.
I'm late with him, but
yeah, Black Thought. I could rap like him too at times, though.
Word.
Like people say I do, but I can't freestyle the way he does. His breath control is like bar none. Like he's the best. Like his breath control is amazing. Like if you're just talking about how he spits, and he can spit for like 40 minutes and be fine. Like he's just amazing.
I feel like, is there anything that, I remember I Am Athlete podcast the other day, I'm listening, they had Wayne on, and they was trying to get Wayne so hard to go to spit something. I thought it was funny because Wayne would really let all his crew freestyle or whatever, but he wasn't giving them no bars. He wasn't giving no bars because he's like, y'all, I feel like in the back of my head, Wayne was like, I know my worth, I love y'all rock with y'all on the podcast. I'm not spitting nothing unless you pay me.
Well,
there's no charity.
He's put the work in.
Yeah.
He's put the work in. He doesn't. He don't have to do that.
Yeah, there was literally no charity, and you could see B. Marshall and Chad Johnson hyping it up. They was ready. It was so ready for Wayne to just drop something, but it just didn't happen. I was waiting. I was like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Nah, and then it didn't happen. Then they ended the show. But
Wayne back on his shit too.
Word.
Yeah.
What?
He back on the shit.
We gonna throw it back to you. Can I at least get a couple bars, something, anything?
Yeah. Like I'll give you a few.
Okay.
Mind you, I be forgetting these shit, so apologies. It's whatever though.
All right.
Let me take you to the other side of the tracks. I'm like the moment rock collided with rap. I'm Neo pointing arrows at the Smiths. I run these MCs like Daryl at this bitch. I learned back with Scar push Mufasa off the cliff. All y'all salute the 9-9 Barrett like RJ from Duke. I'm a 5-star recruit. Step out in all red like a new players from Nuke with a couple gold links. Niggas can't match my crew. I be bugging out when the birds pass my stoop. Paint pictures like Andy Warhol, Jordan 4s on. On his mission, try to do the right thing. Politic right like Ronaldo. I play the right wing. The Christian and Christian Dior. Sipping Christian Dior. And he's chasing it, leaking from my pores. This from my niggas two-stepping some gores. Flight jacket in the fitted, feeling like it's 04. Feeling like it's 04. I'm so raw. I'm a saint when a snowfall. Rocking, I can't remember the rest of that shit. But what is, I know one of my favorite lines I said though. When I pop up with the Tommy, call a doctor, the students murdered the proctor, got these copper niggas still in my sack. I got the chopper, yo, Maria Suarez, had shots to all you snitches like my guns, like the drum in the middle, call us the Pistons, boy, I'm kidding. Like the guard with Sister Kenyon with buckets in. Drew a 12 gauge as a coat, don't try your luck, and I ain't frontin', I'm for real, I'm one in the mill. Treat you like Cap, or you should kneel, or call me Shaquille, you know the deal. But niggas frontin', I see it all in the comments. See, it's a new era for niggas, no cap, I promise. I'm catching on your subliminal quotes. You out your mouth saying I'm watching, now you all on my scope. Like I got a lot of different type of shit, but I feel like
I'm gonna lie. I can't lie. You had me at I'm pointing. What'd you say? I'm pointing arrows like Neo at the Smiths or something like that. I was like, what?
Oh yeah. Let me take you to the other side of the tracks. I'm like the moment rock collided with rap. I'm Neo pointing arrows at the Smiths.
That's too bad the last Matrix was like,
Yeah, it was bad. and when my bars is like really nuanced. I listen to Lupe, like I'm like one of them rappers or like Daylight. Like I'm one of I can be one of those rappers. Like so just even like that beginning of the line, the other side of the track, the moment rock collided with rap, we already know that's Walk This Way. So we talking about Aerosmith, we talking about Run DMC, and you just keep on with that same theme.
What does it really take to put something together? Because I mean. And what's the divide between people who freestyle versus people who like you're in the studio, you're putting songs together? You've obviously experienced both. You said that the freestyle isn't necessarily your strength, but can you talk about that a little bit?
About the process of making music?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just to piggyback on like my Joe Budden shit, I always rap before, and when you start rapping, you kind of sound like who you like. So I used to sound like Jay-Z or Nas or like Wayne, and I heard Joe Budden's. I always liked him actually, but he wasn't my favorite. And then I heard Mood Music too, and it's something that he said this on Mood Music 3, but Mood Music 2 is like my favorite shit by him.
Word.
But he said music is just what feelings sound like. And for me, the process now is just saying how you feel. It's really that simple. How do I feel? But you want to be emotional? Do you have to get some shit off your chest, or do you just feel like having fun? But kind of just being intentional with your shit. I mean, sometimes you got to show off a little bit.
Music is what feelings sound like. Bars.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
But what's your intention when you're making it? I should say that's really what it is. I mean, I could freestyle to impress people because I have to impress you real quick. Just something like they all know what I said. It's like they all know that I do damage to Bruce Banner. It's like they all know Thanos. It's like they all know that I do damage to Bruce Banners. Like something like that simple. Like
Hulk season.
Yeah, just playing off his shirt.
Right.
So am I rapping to impress you, or am I rapping to grab your attention in another way? That's kind of the process and the thought process of when you go into a studio and when you want to create. What story are you trying to sell? Same thing with pictures. What story are you trying to sell?
You're one of the most diverse doing it right now, man.
Appreciate it.
That's why I had you on, man. And scheduling is always a busy thing because we do have real jobs and real hustles and real things that we do. But I appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate
and just chopping it up. We got to get you caught up. The pre-recording we were talking about. My man ain't had no Star Wars in his life lately, and so we gotta get you caught up on that.
Last thing, I tried to watch the first one. What is it? The Rogue One and all that.
Yeah, Rogue One went hard. I ain't gonna lie.
What was the other one? With Kylo, the first one with her. Was it? It's not A New Hope because A New Hope is the old stuff.
The Force.
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
I tried to watch that. I'm sorry, I didn't watch Rogue One. I tried to watch The Force Awakens, and I couldn't get into it.
Okay.
And so I didn't watch anything else.
Okay.
But I am a big Star Wars fan prior to.
Okay. So he took notice of the Mandalorian
Yes, I
helmet
kept
when he
calling
came in, called it a Stormtrooper helmet, which I couldn't get it because it's not painted and it is white. But we team Mandoverse here. We team Disney Plus, all that good stuff. Man, thank you for coming on, man.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate your time. This is the House of Boom podcast. That is Tieem Chulot. What is it? How do you say your last name?
Jordan.
Jordan. Okay, I want to make sure. I always had Jordan in my head, but I got it. This is the House of Boom podcast. That is Tieem Chulot Jordan, and we out.